Hi guys, how are you today? Please like and subscribe. I'm Jackie, and this is Jackie Bible Story 777. So the title of this message is "You Will Not Fight This Battle Alone." This is Jeffah in Judges 11. Why do you call on me only when you're in trouble? He said. They kicked Jeffah out of his house. Let's find out who is Jeffah and what's going on in Judges. Okay, so Jeffah the Gileadite was a mighty warrior. His father was Gilead. His mother was a prostitute. Gilead's wife also bore him sons. And when they were grown up and those sons grew up, his brother Jeffah, they drove him away. They said, "You are not the same mother that we have. You're a half brother. You are not going to get any inheritance in our family." They said, "Because you are the son of another woman. So you don't belong here." The same dad, different mom. His mom was actually a lady of the street. Not that that matters because God forgives sin. They just picked on him because of that. So let's go further. "You are not getting any inheritance in our family," they said, "because you are the son of another woman." So Jephthah fled from his brothers and he went into the land of Tob, T-O-B, where a group of adventurers gathered around him and followed him. Sometime later, when the Amorites made war on Israel, the elders of Gilead, they went to get Jephthah from the land of Tob. "Come," they said, "be our commander, so we can fight the Ammonites." Jephthah said to them, "Didn't you have me and drove me out of my father's house? Why do you come here when you're only in trouble?" Here we go, guys. Have you known people that only knocked at your door, rang your bell, gave you a letter or a phone call only when they're in trouble? Otherwise, you don't hear from them for a year or two. "Oh, I'm in so much trouble. Lend me $900. No, I'm not doing it because I don't even know what you've been doing and who are you? So he was saying, "You kicked me out of my father's house. Now you want my help?" Okay, let's go on, guys. Judges 11:8. The elders of Gilead said to him, "Nevertheless," that's the excuse, nevertheless. Remember that word, nevertheless. So we don't care about nothing, nevertheless. "We are turning to you now. Come with us to fight the Amorites, and you will be our head commander." Guys, have people left you then when they were in trouble? They said, nevertheless. That's a good word to watch out for, nevertheless. In these days, it's like, oh, whatever, anyway. But nevertheless is one of those words. "We want you now because we need you. We are in trouble." You hear that? We want you now. We need you because we are in trouble. So they're showing it. The only reason we need you is because we're in trouble. Otherwise, we would never call on you. We wouldn't even care about you. We kicked you out of your father's house. See what I'm saying, guys? Don't fall for it, guys. That's all I have to say. So let's go on. Jeffah said, "Suppose you take me back to fight the Ammonites, and the Lord gives them to me. Will I really be your head and your commander?" So the elders of Gilead replied, "The Lord is our witness. We will certainly do that as you say." So Jephthah went with the elders of Gilead, and the people made him the head and the commander. Okay, so they needed him, and they made him commander over them. And he repeated all his words before the Lord in Mizpah. Then Jephthah sent messages to Ammonite king. "What do you have against us that you have attacked our country?" So he was being commander. The ring of the Amorites answered Jephthah's message. "When Israel came out of Egypt, they took away my land from the Ammonites to the Jabaz, all the way to the Jordan. Now give it back peacefully." Jephthah sent back a note. This is what Jephthah says. "Israel did not take that land. Israel went through the desert, through the Red Sea. So give us permission to go through your country, to keep going with my army of men. Let us pass through your country." So basically, Judges 21. Then the Lord, the God of Israel, gave all of the men good help and defeated them. Guys, has God ever given you good help? God has given me a lot of good help in my life. Whenever I called on God, he gave me good help. God will give you good help. Just call on him. Believe in Jesus and turn from your sin, guys, because he will accept you back. It don't matter what sin you have. Just turn away and be of good cheer and love Jesus. Let the Lord, the judge, decide these disputes. You see, many men in town surrounding this wanted to blame the commander. Jeffah advanced to all these battles. He said, Whatever comes now, this is the problem, guys. If you make a vow to God, you bet you sure as bet better keep it. So he said, God, if you let me defeat all these foes and enemies, what he made a vow to the Lord, Lord, whatever comes out of the doorman of my house first, out of the door first of my house, to meet me when I return to triumph, to victory from the Ammites, will be the Lord's. So whoever or whatever comes out of my house, could be bags of gold, a person, whatever it is that comes out of my house when I return to victory, you can have it. I'll give it to you as a sacrifice. So I will give it to you as a burnt offering. In those days, they gave animals for burnt offering, different things for burnt offering. So he promised that. He made the vow. If you make a vow to Jesus, Jesus, I'll never sin again. I'll never do adultery again. You better sure as heck keep that vow, because vows are very special to God. Very, very special. So he devastated 20 towns. He won it all. He won it all, guys. But remember that vow. That's going to be something. Okay, let's go on. So he arrived at his home after winning the battles. I'm still speaking about Judges 11, Jeffah. So he returned. And who met him at the door? His daughter, dancing with tambourines to celebrate. She was his only child. Except for her, he had no son nor daughter, just her. So he tore his clothes. He couldn't believe it. His daughter met him. You have made me miserable, he told her, and wretched, because I have made a vow to the Lord, and I cannot, and I have to keep it. About his daughter, to give it, the daughter sacrificed to the Lord. Oh boy. My father, you have given your word to the Lord. Do to me just as you promised, Dad, now that you won over your enemies. But she said, grant me this one request. Give me 2 months to roam the hills and weep with my friends, because I will never marry. I will never have kids. So she went, and if this was some sort of tradition in Judges 11:37, she went and wept for 2 months with her friends on the hills. Judges 12. Some men came and said, why did you go and fight without calling us? We're going to burn down your house over your head. You hear that? Some men came over since he won a victory. They were jealous, and they was like, why didn't you call us so we could get the victory too? You know what they said? It sounds like people nowadays, right? If you don't include them as something, you win the victory and stuff like that. Why didn't you include us? We're going to burn down your house over your head, they said. Can you imagine that? In 12:1-15, Judges? Jeffah answered, and I, my people, were engaged in a great struggle. I did call you, but you didn't help me. I saw you wasn't helping, so I took life in my own hands. The Lord gave me the victory. Now why do you come to fight me today? Now why do you want to burn down my house and over my head? You see, the moral of this story, Jeffah made a vow to God. The first thing that I see that comes out of my house, Lord, this is my vow. If you give me victory into my hands, whatever comes out of my door, to meet me when I return in triumph will be the Lord's. I will sacrifice it as a burnt offering. He did not know it would be his daughter, his only daughter. He did not know that, I'm sure. He wouldn't have made that vow. He would have thought of any other vow, guys. So be careful what you vow to God. Like, Lord, if you give me $10 million, I will do this or that. Do not vow unless you know you could fulfill it to God, because as fast as you got that $10 million, that's as fast as it's going right down the drain, because God don't play, guys. You know, when you're talking to God, be serious about everything. So that's the moral of the story, guys. These are true Bible scriptures. His daughter was not given as a burnt offering, it says. She stayed a virgin, never married, and she was given in service of the Lord, sort of like a nun. But she wasn't burnt offering. So, guys, this was a really good story. Everything in the scripture is true. All the scriptures are true. And the parables that Jesus said in the Red Writing, they are parables for people to open their eyes and interpret them. They're very, very exceptional stories. But this happens to be scriptures in Judges. You could read all about Jephthah and the vow he made to the Lord. The Lord gave him victory, but he had to give up his son, guys. I mean, his daughter. I'm sorry, excuse me. He had to give up his daughter. So his daughter was a virgin all her life, never married, never have kids. And then she worked in service of the Lord. Not that that's a bad thing, but she didn't get to enjoy, being a mother, a wife, or anything like that, guys. So when you make a vow to God, Lord, I will never smoke again. So please let me get this apartment that let me get this car. So you got the car, and then you start smoking again. What do you think is going to happen, guys? God don't play. God sees our every step, guys. So be mindful. Please like and subscribe. This is $ Jackie Bible Story 777. If you want to do Cash App for $1, it helps me because I need new equipment for this new ministry I have, this YouTube channel. And I thank you for watching, and I love you guys with the love of Jesus. And all you guys have a beautiful, blessed day. And thank you again. Okay, bye-bye.